Hello friends, this is Vinayak from VB Education and today we are going to learn a very important topic in Java, that is collections. So here we are not going to learn the basics of the collections. On the contrary, we are going to learn which collection we should use when. Okay. So here you see a algorithm, or you can see it is a flow chart which will help us decide which collection to be used in our program. So let us begin. So the first question we have to ask to ourselves is, will our collection contain key value pairs or it will contain only values? If the answer to this question is key value pairs, yes, then the next question we have to ask ourselves is the element order important? If the element order is important, yes, then we should ask ourselves, is the insertion or the sorted by keys is important? So we want to insert, we want elements to be in the insertion order, or it should be in the sorted by keys order. If it is sorted by key, then should it be synchronized? If yes, then we have to implement a hash table. If it does not need to be a synchronized, then we can implement a tree map. If the insertion order is important, then we can implement a linked hash map. If the element order is not important, then we should ask ourselves whether we need to cache it or we need some expensive object to be created. So if caching is required, we can go for a weak hash map, and if no caching is required, then we can determine whether unique key to be using equals, determined using equals, or a double equal to operator. If it is equals operator, then go for a hash map. If it is double equal to operator, then go for a identity hash map. Similarly, if the key value pairs are not important, we simply want to store values, then we don't have to go for hash map, right? So either we go for set or we go for list or queue. So how do we make that decision? So if we have to store the values only, then we have to ask ourselves, will it contain duplicate values? Definitely, if no, it cannot contain the duplicate values, then we have to go for the set interface, right? So the next question we have to ask is the element order important? If the element order is important, then do we want to store it in an insertion order or we want to sort it by values? If you want to sort it by values, go for a tree set. If you want the insertion order, go for a linked hash set. And if the element value is not important, we can simply implement a hash set, right? Similarly, if it does contain the duplicate values, yes, then we can go for a list or we can go for a queue. So should it be synchronized? Yes. Then again we have to ask ourselves, should it act like a last in first out, LIFO? Example of pile of books, it is a stack, right? So stack is an example of pile of books. So last book which is kept on the table will be removed first. So if it is LIFO, go for a stack. If it is not LIFO, go for a vector. Similarly, if we don't want any synchronization, then we have to check whether we want a random access is required. If random access is required, go for an array list. If random access is not required, then whether we require a fast sequential access, addition deletion is required. Yes, if yes, then we can go for a linked list. Correct? If no, then should it be used as queue or dequeue, double-ended queue? If the answer is yes, then we have to ask ourselves, does it have to be fast performing queue? If fast performing queue is required, go for an array dequeue. Clear? So this was the flow chart. Now let's go to the program in Eclipse. So I have built this program in Eclipse. So this is a program which is based on the previous flow chart. Okay. So it is simply having if and else statements. So now let's try to execute this program. So first question it is asking me is, will it contain key value pairs or values only? Let me answer as yes, it will contain key value pairs. Then it will ask me, is the element order important? I am saying yes, element order is also important. Now, do you want sorting by insertion or sorting by keys? Let me say I want sorting by keys. So it is one sorting by keys. Then it is asking me, should it be synchronized? If my answer to this question is yes, it will tell me to implement a hash table. If my answer is no, let's see what is the answer, what it recommends. Use a tree map. Great. So the system is suggesting us to use a tree map. Let's have another look. Let me run the program once more. Okay, now will it contain key value pairs? This time I will say no. Okay, let's check the flow chart as well. So here, will it contain key value pairs? I am saying no. So again it will ask, will it contain duplicate values? So will it contain duplicate values? Again I am saying yes to this. So let me answer here yes. Should it be synchronized? So next question is, should it be synchronized? I am saying no. Then it is asking me, is fast and random access required? Yes, my answer to this is also no. Then it is asking me, fast sequential access addition deletion is required. So here it is, fast sequential access addition deletion is required. Yes. If I answer it as yes, what will be the suggestion? I am answering it as yes. So it is asking me to implement a linked list. Here you can see, when the answer is yes, the collection which is selected is linked list. So that's all friends. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.